like it's dark in here. Let me turn on. Is that better light or is it dark? Let's see. Maybe I should turn. Hi guys. Is anybody here? Can you guys see me? Put on my glasses. Is that better lighting? All right, let me just move some things. Make sure my mic is working. Hi. Hi, Bean Turtle. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me or should I put on my mic? Let's see. Let me see, guys. Bear with me. I'm still new to this game. I appreciate you all being here. Let's see. Input. So you guys can hear me? Okay, perfect. I don't know I think this is on. My husband helped set it up before he left. All right. Okay. Let me know if there's any audio issues, okay? Okay, perfect. Hi, everybody. Thank you for everyone who is new here. Thank you so much for subscribing. And the rest of you, thank you for coming back. I'm very excited to be on my second ever live stream by myself. I'm in my little blue room. This is where I hang out and do a lot of stuff. We have lots to chat about. Hi guys, hi, just snooping. Hi Gloria, you made it. Hi everybody, hi Lori. All right, I got my coffee because there's so much to talk about. I have my little coffee and I'm gonna have a little bit of my son's Halloween candy. Don't tell anybody. So today we have so much to talk about, you guys. Thank you all for joining. Jamie Heath's wife, Natasha. Should we start there or should we start with BeeBetter? First comment I see. That's where we'll go. Oh, thank you, Heath. Okay. Thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. Sorry if this is making too much noise. I really need some sugar. I'm not really a candy person, but today's one of those days. I had a crazy client, long day working, and I'm here with you guys. So I'm gonna take a sip of my. Okay. First comment, Heath. So we'll start there. So, as you guys know, and I want to make sure I say everything right, Blake has won, right? The woman who says she's an advocate for all women has won this battle of hers to get access of this revenge porn. Can I say that on here on YouTube? I don't even know. I'm so used to saying things on TikTok. So, in Blake's second amended complaint, she alleged that she was shown a birth video and, quote, thought it was pornography. I'm still going to use TikTok language. I'm sorry. I'm just used to it. However, she also admitted that the birth video was not porn in the same complaint. We remember that, right? And then we had Jamie Heath, who testified under oath and said that Blake Lively told him, quote, I thought it was corn at first, but I know it wasn't. And then also testified that the only footage was a post-birth video that contained his wife, their baby daughter, and himself in a birth, and that there was a towel over his wife, and that Jamie was wearing shorts. But Blake, of course, She violated another woman's privacy and rights, I think, right? In my opinion, I think this is so outrageous. It's so infuriating that Natasha Heath, that Jamie Heath, that they have to hand this over. Now, she is no advocate for women. Yeah. She claims that she's an advocate for women. She's trying to be an advocate for the Me Too movement, for people who have endured and are survivors, not endured, are survivors are of, sexual abuse, SH. How can you say that you're an advocate and do something like this? Is so wrong on so many levels. Like it's making me so angry the more I think about it and the more I see it pop up on my feed online, it just makes my skin crawl. Because who do you think you are to demand to have this video? What the heck are you going to do with it? We can't see your text messages. We're still waiting to find out how you were SA'd or SH'd. But yet you demand this, and then Judge Lyman. She ordered it to be handed over, right? Nude live birth video. Which kind of makes me think about, and I'm going to jump back and forth to the topic. I don't know if you guys, some of you guys I'm sure have seen, yesterday I posted a video of her giving that speech where Salma Hayek calls her up and she starts talking about child pornography, child trafficking, etc. It's a very performative, emotional speech, in my opinion. It was just something about it was so wrong. Many things about it. Okay. First of all, also, it was very hard to watch. I saw it a long time ago, but just watching it again, it's just a hard thing to watch her talk about. But to say in that speech, there's a part, it was so disturbing. Like she went in such graphic detail in that speech that it was just so many, like such a weird feeling I got watching it. There's a part where she talks about infants in the world of that stuff, right? Pornography. Yet you want to see this birthing video. That's where my mind went. Yesterday hearing this watching that and then hearing this news, like middle of the night, I saw it was on the I just feel like you're constantly contradicting yourself, Blake. How do you expect us to believe you? Let me see what are you guys thinking about? Let's see. She won't release her health records, but she wants the birth video. Yeah. It's so hypocritical. Let me scroll up. It's not Jamie's video, it's Natasha's. Yeah, good point. She gave birth. It is her video. And it's such a sacred and beautiful moment in the life of a woman, her partner, of that baby. How dare she? This is just so wrong. Why is Judge Lyman allowing this mockery of a case to go on? It's obvious to everyone she's lying and has nothing. Yeah, it is very obvious. As a survivor, she does not represent me. I agree. She's a sicko. It was 9 minutes of BS blabbering, in my opinion. And this is the speech she gave about the child porn and child trafficking. Yes, I totally agree. And then in the end, she like apologizes. She's like, sorry for talking so much, or something along those lines. Like, really? And she was so nervous and uncomfortable because it's just an uncomfortable thing to talk about, just like Ashton Kutcher. You know, there were a lot of comments when I first posted some of these videos talking about this stuff. And, you know, we can't accuse her of something when there is no proof, right? We can't. But the fact that she posted that stuff in her Instagram stories yesterday about Covenant House, and I'm torn about how to think about Covenant House because there was such a scandal that's related to it. But then yet it is I hope and pray that Covenant House is helping those in need, those who need shelter, hopefully people who are being trafficked, both youth, young adults. But there was no other like foundation or organization to choose. You chose Covenant House. Covenant House also had a lot of like shady financial dealings, allegedly, right? Interesting, right? Shady financial dealings. Just some things to think about. And why post it the same day as BeeBetter? But back to Natasha Heath's video. I can't even imagine like how Jamie and Justin and Justin's wife and Natasha, of course, are feeling right now. Like, can you guys? It's just so wrong on so many levels. It's not okay. It's like if this was granted, what else? What's next? Right? Let's see. Someone said on her Instagram has her trying to act like she's not racist. That's interesting. So the Instagram story that she posted with Covenant House, um, uh, thanks, Chloe. I don't know what that is, but thank you. I'm gonna like it. The post that she put in with Covenant House had a black guy like opening the door. I'm like, and so many people I didn't even notice it at first, but then people started pointing it out, and I thought that's interesting that she put that in there. And the day before, I had posted that photo of her where she has her feet up. I think it was an ad for Another Simple Favor, where the guy looks like it's a black guy. And I still have not found solid proof to see if it is in fact a white guy or a black guy. I think it's a white guy. And I think I found, or someone sent me like the model, the guy. I forgot his name. I have it somewhere in my DMs. I think he was in another commercial or ad or something with her. Anyway, I recognized his hairline because of course we can't see his face. He's like on all fours and she has her feet on top of his back, you know, trying to be this like a feminist. Now, if it's a white guy, why did they make the image so dark? And she has a drink in her hand. She doesn't even drink. I guess it's for the movie. I don't know. It was for Another Simple Favor, I guess. Anyway, sorry, I'm just jumping all over the place, but let me see what you guys are saying. It was weird that she posted that right after BeeBetter's video, almost like she's guilty of something. It was super weird timing. I agree. I noticed it and I was like, what the heck is happening right now? Um, Natasha's 6 defenses: non-party protections, spousal privacy protections, medical birth privacy protections, HIPAA principles, the 1918 Supreme Court doctrine, Fourth Amendment privacy, and unreasonable. It's appalling that the judge would rule in her favor on this. It is very appalling. It is absolutely disgusting, in my opinion. I mean, how are you an advocate for women, but demanding to see a woman give birth, to give up that video to you, where you've already said that you did not believe it to be corn? What's the point? To punish the poor guy and his wife? Clearly, you have some other vendetta against them, I think, in my opinion. Sorry, let me get another sip of my little coffee over here. I read in an article that he's Italian, but who knows? Hi, Jesse and Max. I'm glad you could join. I hope you're feeling better. Lyman could have ruled that childbirth is not corn. Yeah, you would think, right? Common sense. Childbirth is not corn. This is backfiring on them both in the worst way, the judge and Blake. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. And that is what the jury will be asking as well. She wants to humiliate Natasha. Absolutely. I think she does. I think she's a bully and a mean girl. And she always wants to get her way. Even though she's admitted that it was not what... 1 second she says it is corn, 1 second she says it's not, like... And then you demand to see it or demand to have it handed over. And yet you're an advocate for all this stuff. Disgusting. Someone says, chillin'. Blake is the most frustrating person on this planet. Top on that coffee. I know. The coffee gets me a little bit more upset. They will appeal this for Natasha. Yes. Okay. It's a very frustrating thing to talk about, to think about. It's horrendous. It's a horror to Natasha. It's a horror. It's an absolute horror. As a woman with 2 kids, it's a horror to me. It's just horrendous. Like, Blake has 4 kids. Okay. And she claims to be this, like... Never mind. I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to talk about her being a mother or any of that, because it's not my place. That's one thing I won't... That's sacred. Okay. And also the video, like, what's exactly going to happen to this video? Like, where is it going to end up once they get their hands on it? For all we know, like, I don't know, like, the most horrendous thing that could happen is that it could get leaked. I mean, God forbid that happens. And you would think that her legal team would be professional and never, ever allow something like that. We know how amazing her legal team is. I'm starting to think this video crap they pulled this video crap in order to elongate the court timeline. This will surely get them more time. They do all sorts of stuff to elongate the timeline. That's like yeah. And the attorneys are eating it up. They're making more money every time they do something extra. What goes through Blake's mind about childbirth? She's a sicko for thinking anything but that. Let's see. Jamie should ask the judge to black out his and his wife's face. Will they? How many slimy men are going to watch it accidentally on purpose? Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't even want to think about that, but hopefully nothing like that ever happens. Shall we move on to the next topic? Um, I'm afraid they can't fight this and we'll have to provide the full video. And they only have a couple of days. I'm starting to think she never gave birth. Yeah, I mean, feelings on the judge being biased and I don't know, he's a federal judge. I'd like to think, I keep trying to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's a federal judge and doing the right thing. And there's reason behind it more than the average person can understand, but maybe he's giving her everything so that later if they appeal, I don't know. I don't know enough about law, but he's the judge and I hope he does the right thing. A federal judge with nearly 40 million bucks in assets. Mm-hmm. A federal judge who is a multimillionaire. Mm-hmm. Okay. He has a history of stuff like this, favoring big money over the smaller person. Yeah. I feel like we can go on and dig up a lot of stuff about Judge Lyman, but we won't. We'll move on. Okay. Let's move on to the crazy, explosive video yesterday from BeeBetter. Who has not seen it? How could you have not seen it? It was everywhere, right? I woke up at like 6 a.m. yesterday and I opened up my phone and I'm like, what the heck is this? And I'm just listening. I had to listen to it like a few times. I'm like, is he saying what I think? What is he saying? He's saying so much without saying it. Blew my mind, right? Blew my mind. Send me down the rabbit hole. Okay. First off, I believe him. Okay. There are comments saying, oh, he does this for clout, blah, 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 blah. Trying to grow a new account, blah, 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 blah. I don't think so. I think he can grow a new account without saying something like this. Every time he makes a post, it gets millions of views. Like, it's not hard for him. He didn't have to do it this way. He could have done it another way. He makes amazing videos, and I don't think that he was doing this for clout or to grow a new account. I think that would be absolutely outrageous for him to do, and I don't think he would. I don't think so. I don't know. So I'm assuming you guys watched the video where he talks about all sorts of, he alludes to all sorts of things. But what stood out to me the most was when he says that these people are sick, when he's talking about Blake and Ryan, that they have already gone after him legally before. And then when he says that he feels like a moral obligation, I can't remember if he uses exactly those words, but he's basically saying he feels like there's a moral drive in him that is making him speak out. And he says that he has knowledge of and has been told, and he's kind of, I think he said he's reconfirmed with different sources, people who are in the lawsuit, people who are friends and family, a part of the lawsuit, that these two very wealthy, powerful people in Hollywood are involved in, he describes it as disgusting, illegal, and he talks about the morality of it. Sick, demonic, and dark. That is terrifying. Okay? Where does our mind go? Now, everything we're talking about is alleged, right? and in our opinion. We're not accusing them of anything. But where does our mind go when we hear that from BeeBetter in his video? And then on the same day, we see her post about Covenant House. Right? Same timing. And then in the evening, I got sent the post by Without a Crystal Ball linking Blake Lively to Epstein, allegedly, right? Let me read exactly what is in that. When someone sent me that, it was Ken's actually who sent me that. Existing to Thrive. She's my buddy. I love Ken's. She sent me that, and she's like, "Oh my God, Lynette, look at this," because she had been seeing my videos earlier in the day. And she's like, "Oh my God, look at what Without a Crystal Ball just posted." So I started reading it, and I noticed that this invitation that she posted, linking, basically, it's an invitation where I don't want to say it incorrectly. Let me make sure I say it right. Let's see. Blake Lively cordially invites convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein to the 25th year anniversary of the New York Observer in 2013. And she posted like the actual like kind of invite email. And I'll read it to you guys real quick. Okay. It's very small print. Dear Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, Jared Kushner, New York's youngest powerhouse publisher, is celebrating the 25th anniversary of the New York Observer on Thursday, March 14th. Mayor Michael Bloomberg will be by his side to toast you all. The Observer is honoring those who have defined and shaped New York since 1987. They are celebrating the city's best, brightest, and most influential in culture, media, and finance. The salmon pink pages are revered among New York's elite as the preeminent voice on power. The celebration is going to be one of those quintessential New York nights. We are looking forward to seeing you. XOXO, Peggy. This is Peggy Siegel. She was a big-time publicist. Now is extremely canceled because of her links to Epstein. And it's signed Peggy, Jared Kushner, Joseph Mayer, CEO. And then there's like a whole list of people. Cory Booker, Arthur Carter. Okay, my eyes I need better glasses. Lauren Santo Domingo, Larry Gagosian, Mariska Hargitay, Caroline Herrera, Katie Holmes, Woody Johnson, Peter Kaplan, Ray Kelly, Ken Curson, Matt Lauer, Blake Lively, Terry Lundgren, I can't say that. Bad, I can't say it. Peter Martins, Cynthia McFadden, Sean Parker, etc., etc. Oh, Harvey Weinstein is in there. Donald Trump, Ivanka Trump. Okay, etc. Very interesting crowd, right? So what do we think of that? I'll start there, and then I'll tell you the rabbit hole that took me down to. And I don't know if you guys have seen that post or video I've made yet, but that one took me down a whole other rabbit hole of craziness that I'm going to tell you guys about. So let me see what you guys think of this. Yes, Harvey Weinstein as well. They're all listed as hosts. Yeah, weird, right? Oh, hello. I'm an investigative journalist, and I found a few connections between Ryan and the CIA. By the way, what was called Blake's cheerleading group in high school? Wait, what? How is that connected? An investigative journalist? It's very easy to look that up. Okay. Don't know if they will be able to appeal. Okay, let's see. Oh, And if I'm correct, she and Ryan Reynolds did attend Diddy white parties. Okay, so now this is all like, I guess it could be considered like tinfoil hat conspiracy theory stuff, right? But Without Invisible has actually found this print. So it's kind of like this is proof of something, right? They were all in the same room at the very least. So this took me down a rabbit hole. I looked up Peggy Siegel. So she was like notorious for throwing big celebrity parties. And she would throw Oscar, like she would help plan. She's like kind of like an event planner slash publicist. So she would like plan these parties, help throw these parties. She threw the party for Savages, like a premiere party, as well as Age of Adeline. I always say it wrong. Is it Adeline or Adelaide? I always say it incorrecly, but you know what I'm talking about, the movie. That's the movie where Blake and Salma Hayek started together, right? And for both of those movies, Peggy threw the premiere parties. And hi, Kev. Adeline, yeah. Age of Adeline. Very cute. Age of Adeline, yes. So she threw these parties, and Blake was there. And that's how they got to know each other. Now, what's so interesting is that while I was looking up Peggy, you know, obviously she's canceled now because she's linked to Epstein, and there's all these crazy things they found between them. Like there's a letter where she's talking about Prince Andrew and all this stuff. That's a whole other rabbit hole, right? But two things I noticed that were so interesting to me. One was there was a photo of her and George Clooney, very chummy, like arms around each other's photo. Like when you Google her name, that's like one of the first images that comes up. Okay. And it's from years ago. But who do we know is related to George Clooney? Can anybody guess? Somebody I've done a deep dive on, a very, very deep dive on. Jesse and Max has helped me with that tremendously. Thank you. I call her Timu Blake. That's my little fun nickname for her. Also known as Isabel Ferrer. George Clooney, as well as other celebrities, are related to her. And then we see a photo of George Clooney and Peggy Siegel all chummy together. And Peggy Siegel and Blake Lively worked together to send out this invite to Jeffrey Epstein. That's all I'm going to say. It's quite interesting, right? How did Isabella get that role? What's been said? How did she get that role? Do we think that they didn't know each other before this movie? They say they didn't know each other before, Blake and Timu Blake, Isabella. Interesting, right? That's what they say. I'm just saying. They could have met. They were running in the same circles. Okay. So that was an interesting find during my little rabbit hole. Then the other thing was that the fact that Peggy Siegel would throw these Oscar parties, and what do we know about Blake Lively? Did she think that she was going to win an Oscar for A Dance with Us? Wasn't there a little bit of talk about that? I wonder why. She have some connections where she thought she was going to get up in those, climb up into the academy. I don't know, just some things that went through my mind. These are all opinions, right? Conspiracies, I don't know, whatever you want to call them. Not all conspiracies are conspiracies. I'm just saying. Anyway, so that was quite interesting. Let's see. Timu, big bird, small bird. Yes. Some of you guys are still talking about Heath. Yes. If I were Heath, I would refuse, period. Taylor supposedly. Wait, what are we talking about? Let me see. Let me go back. Baby mole. Did you guys see that post I made with the moles? Anyway. Clooney is related to Frere, yes. Baby mole is Vera Ferrer. Timu, big bird, small bird. Justin and Blake and Tay chose her. Oh yeah. That's what they said, right? That's how they chose her. But was there another way she got introduced into the door? I don't know. They for sure knew each other, says just snooping. This was a setup from day one. Colleen and all the actors on It Ends With Us are awful people. She deserved the Razzie Award. Is that what you call it for worst actress? She did, I agree. Blake wants an Oscar and a Golden Globe and a SAG Award for her trash acting because she wants to tell Taylor, like Taylor with all her awards. Christy Carlson, who was VP of DC casting and oversaw Ryan's casting into Green Lantern. That's who gave Justin the casting tape of Isabella. Let's see. You guys love this nickname. Everyone's talking about Low Mole, Timu Big Bird. Okay. I can't wait to I can't wait to read Taylor Swift's text. Ooh, you don't want to get started on that. Jack Black and I talk about this all the time. What could be in those text messages? Birds of a feather. Could they be similar over a decade of friendship? I'm just saying. I hope Amber Heard has a big enough guest room for Blake Lively and her family in Spain. I hope so. Can you imagine those two living together? Like they'd claw each other's eyeballs out. Blake at best is a B actress. My BFF says Blake Lively has Novocaine jaw, just dull and talks weird. Give me the Taylor text. Do I think Blake and Ryan will get a divorce? You know, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because I don't even believe, in my opinion, that their marriage is, I feel like it's a beard situation, to be honest. I know it's really hard to fathom that, but it's so common in Hollywood. People have children and they still do this. Yeah, after 4 kids. What? How? It happens. Have you guys heard of John Travolta? Allegedly? I have a crazy John Travolta story. I mean, it's kind of a wild one. Is while he was married at a spa, men's spa. I'll tell you guys if you guys really want me to, but allegedly. It really happened, but she's his beard. She's not a good enough actress to get an Oscar. Yeah, why get a divorce? Exactly. Why get a divorce? The beard is working. It's working for them, you know? And like a day or two ago, like the article that came out about Ryan is a different guy behind doors. He's so protective of Blake. You guys don't even know. He's so charming and lovely and comedic in front of the camera. Behind doors, you guys don't know. He is so protective of Blake Lively. His little sugar plum. Okay. Yes, another creator said that she's a beard because the more children, the better. And, you know, there could be some sort of contract that we don't know about. right? Jack Blackman? Not even allegedly with John Travolta anymore. Yeah, I know, it's a wild story. I'll just tell you guys while we're already talking about it. So, an ex coworker, somebody I used to work with, uh, she surprised her husband for his birthday, like with like a spa day, right? And he's never like really been to like a men's spa, but he goes, okay, thank you, wifey. I'm gonna go to the men's spa, and he goes, and it was like somewhere in LA, a really nice spa, and Travolta happened to be there. And he came home and he told his wife that he was hit on at the spa. Okay? So that was fun. That was like back in the day. That was like 20 years ago when I heard that story and I was like, "What? I love Greece. What? It's a common thing in Hollywood." Okay. Behind closed doors, RR is a monster. I mean, did you guys see his veins popping out like when he was on the red carpet? Or what was that for? For like Time? Where he's like his veins are popping out and he's like going off on a reporter and he just looks like a maniac, like a psychopath. And that's like in public. Can you imagine behind closed doors? Like every time something doesn't go his way or like some bad press comes out. Can you imagine the explosion in that house? Yikes. Okay. uh, I'm not a Kardashian fan at all, but back in 2016-ish, my son was one of Kanye West's backup performers and met Kim K and her mother. He said they were very nice to them. That's nice too. I remember you telling me that, Gloria. I remember you telling me that. And it's nice to hear when celebrities and people like that are actually nice to other people. I mean, I'm sure they're not always nice, but at least that was an instance where they were being nice to your son. You can't convince me he isn't abusive at home. Nick Shapiro went to Tulane University, and Green Lantern was shot with the help of Tulane's props. They probably know each other since then. Somebody else said Jeanette Conroy said it's a contract marriage. See, you guys have heard about these contract marriages. I see him screaming and breaking things. Yeah. Courtney's actually the nicest, Jack Blackman says. I have heard nice things about Courtney, actually. Um, I know one of her old hairdressers that used to do her hair, and I've heard nice things. Everyone is saying 100% he is abusive. I hope he's not. No one deserves that, not even Blake, you know? Um, but we don't know. We don't know. He's totally giving unhinged in the most messed up ways. You guys, today I Googled Blake Lively and I just have to tell, I took screenshots because I was like, this is so ridiculous. Like the things that they try to bombard the SEO with so that we don't really see the other stuff that's going on. Let me just tell you, can I just tell you guys? Because it was so stupid. Okay. I was like, come on, give me a freaking break. Let me tell you what I saw when I put in Blake Lively news on Google, and this is what came up. Okay. You guys ready for this? Okay. Okay, ready with this one. This one is going to be Jack Blackman. You're going to love this. It says, Gossip Girl's Margaret Collin recalls recent run-in with Blake Lively. Us Weekly. Okay. Collin starred as Eleanor Waldorf, the mama of Leighton Meester. Speaking of Meester 39, her TV mom is beyond proud of the actress's success and even weighed in on her high-profile marriage to Adam Brody. So this article, it was interesting to me because like it named Leighton, it named Blake, and it also named Kristen Bell. And I just thought like they're all named in the same article. So if you know things about SEO, that means like when you look up one of their names, the other ones pop up together. Okay, so like it's a very nice article. Okay, who have we been talking about lately? Who's been in the press lately? Leighton Meester. She was on that podcast, and then it blew up. Right, it went viral, where they asked her if she still keeps in touch with anyone, and like she didn't name Blake, and that went viral. Right, so why is this popping up? Because of that. Okay. Let me tell you what else I saw. Another Gossip Girl related thing. This is all today, okay? November 18th. If you guys Google it, it'll come up. Here's one. It says, did Blake Lively cheat on Penn Badgley? One old statement might prove it. Give me a freaking break. Deep dive into Penn Badgley and Blake Lively's past, cheating rumors and confessions that reignite speculation around their Gossip Girl romance. And then like the photo of Blake, you guys look at that photo. She's crying. She's going to be crying when she loses in court. That's what's going to happen. Okay. Earlier this year, Penn Badgley explained how difficult it was to keep his identity separate from Dan Humphrey, appearing on Call Her Daddy in April. He described the strain of dating Blake Lively while playing her on-screen partner. He said, quote, I mean, that's a great question because it was a struggle. He called it a struggle. He called working with her a struggle, or being with her, or both. I can only imagine. And then he was quoted about, they asked him about fidelity and infidelity. He said, fidelity, quote, fidelity in every relationship, and especially my marriage, is really important to me. It just got to a point where I don't want to do that. Are we supposed to assume that that means he cheated on Blake? This is stupid. Okay, another stupid article about Blake and relating it to Gossip Girl. Okay, and then this one tops it for me. This is the one. This one's from yesterday, November 17th, but it still popped up today. Okay, ready? You guys ready for this? You guys ready? The headline says, Inside Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' parenting playbook, privacy, presence, and empathy. I told you I'm not going to talk about her and her mommy skills, but what in the hell? What? Okay, ready? It says, creating normalcy in an extraordinary world. Despite their fame, Blake and Ryan are deeply committed to keeping their children's lives private. Ryan has often spoken about giving his kids a childhood free from the glare of Hollywood. Really? Is that why you put your kid in a movie and made her say those awful lines about Wolverine's private parts? What? Let me go on. In an interview with a Hollywood Reporter, he explained that while he and Blake grew up in working class homes, he no longer wants to compare his children's upbringings to his own. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds may be global superstars. Blake Lively, global superstar. But at home, they are grounded. Intentional parents focused on giving their 4 children a life rooted in normalcy, gratitude, and emotional awareness. Over the years, the couple has offered glimpses into their thoughtful parenting philosophy, one that balances privacy with presence and humor with heartfelt, get it, you ready? Heartfelt honesty. Blake Lively and honesty, everything that comes out of her mouth. Okay, whatever. Their approach offers valuable lessons for modern families navigating the pressures of today's world. Okay. Oh, and then there's one more that came up. We were talking about Taylor Swift. This one says, look at this image. Okay, clearly her PR picked that image, and it says, Swiftie shakeup. Source says Blake Lively's had a change of heart about Taylor's friendship. Blake Lively has had the change of heart. Okay, as if like, okay. Let me read what it says. Blake Lively is allegedly getting into a fresh chapter after a significant legal victory. another fake news. And insiders believe it could have rekindled her friendship with Taylor Swift, following a judge dismissing the defamation case connection to the Justin Baldoni controversy. Lively, Lively, Lively felt a huge burden lifted off her shoulders. Close sources state that she is currently, quote, glowing, relieved, and walking lighter. Did they just reference her? Never mind. Her weight? No. Hopefully, that both the women can reconnect. Though they drifted apart in media attention, Lively now thinks Swift will, quote, ready? Lively now thinks Swift will, quote, come running once this legal cloud is gone, end quote. Should we all hold our breaths? Yeah, this is what's like oh, okay, sorry, there's one more. Sorry, you guys, I just like, it was a rabbit hole day morning. What actors have to say about kissing Blake Lively? We really care. Who cares? Who cares? Okay, like I didn't even scroll because I was like, this is so stupid. Why is this coming up when I look up Blake Lively? Okay, because you don't want anyone to see what you did to poor Natasha Heath. Disgusting, you vile person. Okay, gonna go into the comments now. Okay, my blood pressure went up, you guys. I think Blake and Ryan write these articles, just my opinion, but didn't Ryan belittle his daughter for that role? Yes, he did. There's video footage on him on a late night show, basically saying that he gave his daughter an ultimatum. Like, you either say this line or I'm going to go cast somebody else. And then he's like, once I said that, she was like, okay, Dad, I'll do it. And then she says the line. And you know what's so interesting? Before my current TikTok account, I had another TikTok account that basically was hacked. And I think it was our favorite couple. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. But like that account, on that account, I posted like a reaction video to his daughter saying those lines. And I talked about it. And I pointed out that, like, you know, he reaffirmed on a late night show, blah, 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 blah. I did a post, okay? And it was on there for the longest time, and got a bunch of like views and comments and all that. And it's a bad thing. So people obviously had lots to say about it, right? For the father of the year. Since I've had this new TikTok account, Sweet and Salty Lynn, I try sometimes, like when I don't have enough time to like make posts, I'll go and like recycle old stuff and bring it back and like repost things. So I went to do that to that particular post, and it wouldn't post anymore. You guys, like, does their team mess with TikTok? I think so. I think that they get in there and then they make sure things get taken down or blocked. And I'm not the first creator to say it. And I think Taylor Swift's team does the same thing, in my opinion. And I know I talk to so many creators and we swap stories of like what kind of things are like allowed to stay up versus others. Like there's some really weird controversial things that they allow to stay up. But then there's other things that you would think, like how come we can have things up about Epstein, but then we can't have a post about like a movie scene with his daughter? Make it make sense, right? Also, especially because it was posted and left up there for like 6 months or something, and then when I try to repost it, it got blocked. Anyway, that was a whole other side. I got sidetracked. Okay, let's go back to the comments. Then they make her say it a lot of times. Yeah, they made her like redo the scene of like his daughter. They made her say that awful, disgusting, sexualized line a bunch of times, and she was so little. They made her redo it over and over again. They put their 7-year-old on a film and she has to say disgusting lines over and over. Yes. Um, his wife is gorgeous and looks real sweet and nice to me. Blake is a snake with a fake nose. Whose wife is gorgeous and looks real sweet and nice? Sorry. Hmm, okay. Or they steal your voice from your videos. Yeah, literally and figuratively. Like, there's been videos where it's been muted, and then of course she tried to subpoena me, right? She tried to steal or stop my voice, which reminds me of some other lady who is claiming Me Too things and trying to stop me from doing certain things. That's a whole other Jeremy Renner Yizu rabbit hole that we can go down another day. I had another account and it got hit with several violations I didn't commit. And it started right after I was covering Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni case. I was almost at 7K followers too. Oh my God. I didn't know that, Gloria. Like, it's wild to me because so my first account, I hit 10K like pretty quickly. If you got some of you guys, if you don't know, the post that my video that went viral was of me like saying I went to high school with Blake, and then saying we have mutual friends who are confirming these horrible things about her, right? Anyway, that post went viral and then the account grew. I think it hit like 7 or 8K. And then after that, I started posting videos and covering this stuff. And then it hit 10K pretty quickly. But then, you guys, the weirdest thing happened to that account. So, like, all of a sudden, one day, my entire feed is like other languages. It wasn't in English anymore. It was like Spanish, Russian, like Asian languages. Like, I was like, why is my feed in like my FYP all of a sudden in other languages? And then all of a sudden the text turned from English to another language. I don't know what it was. I to this day I don't know. I mean, I can probably open it up and look at it. It was another language. Everything in that TikTok account was not in English anymore. And I was like, what is happening? And then when I hit over 10K, I went to find the creator rewards program to apply and it just wasn't there. And I was like, this is weird. Okay. So I messaged them and then they tell me that the reason the creator rewards program won't pop up for me is because it says I'm under 18 years old. How? The first thing you do when you open up your TikTok account is put in your age. I'm 41. There's no way I could have messed that up and like put in the incorrect date. So clearly that account was hacked. And what was I posting about? Blake and Ryan. And the account was hacked. Shortly after that, I was subpoenaed. Coincidence? Conspiracy theory? I don't know. I'll never know, but whatever. It doesn't matter. So anyway, that was a fun little side thing. Okay. Blood pressure down. Deep breaths. Ryan Reynolds has an entire social media machine behind him. That's exactly what MNTN Mountain does. Yeah, I know. Exactly. I did a bunch of deep dives on MNTN back on that first account. I am Kenza's one follower when she got the subpoena, and I was scared they'd come for me too. Oh no, I know it's scary. I remember your high school videos about Blake. I was following that one too. Yeah. Thank you for following and staying with me. That happened to me too. Spanish, Arabic, French. Isn't that like, it's weird? Like, why does it do that? It's the most bizarre thing. After watching Blake's IG story, BeeBetter from your YouTube videos, and Blake asking for Natasha Heath's birthing videos, I feel Blake truly feels she is above anyone, and yes, something sinister. Yeah, I think a lot of people feel the same way, Jess, the Mets official, because the amount of engagement and comments that I got yesterday from all this, the crazy debacle that unfolded yesterday, like, everyone is on the same page of this conspiracy theory. That's what we'll call it. Okay. Because we can't we can't say for sure. We don't have proof, right? But everyone's on the same page, I think, in my opinion, allegedly. In my opinion, allegedly, in my opinion, allegedly. I am 41. I am 41. I feel it in my bones when I wake up in the morning, and then I have like my coffee and you guys, hold on, I'm sidetracked again, but like, oh, so good. Okay, I never eat, but I stole some of my son's Halloween candy. I don't normally eat candy, but I just needed it. Okay. How about a certain leprechaun? We're not talking about the leprechaun today. No leprechauns allowed in my Jack Blackman, and I know who we're talking about, but no leprechauns allowed today. All right. It's 11 p.m. in UK, but this live is worth staying up for. Oh, Nilly, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. That made my day. Glow, I didn't know you had an account. Ken's is great. That's how I found Lynn. Oh, really? I'm gonna have to say thank you to Ken. She's so great. Her and I should hop on here one day. That would be a fun live. Would you guys like that? We did a live before on TikTok a few times, but we should do one on YouTube. It'd be really fun. After I did a recent video on the case, I got hit for an IP violation for a 2-minute clip of this summer I turned pretty, which is all over TikTok, and they refused to remove the violation. Sometimes they do violations for the weirdest things. In my opinion, it's how they manipulate and write out mess with so many aspects of media to push or hide whatever they want. So sketchy. So sketchy. Like the amount of power they have and money they have to infiltrate mainstream media is so crazy. And that makes me just think of like everything else in the media. Like if Blake and Ryan can do it, then other powerful, wealthy people can do it. And like, it's so sad. Like this whole BeeBetter thing, like he's literally asking for a legitimate journalist to come out and help him break this story. And he clearly, I'm sure, my assumption is that he's maybe already tried. And that's why he's resorting to now asking for help. But there are journalists who won't touch this because it's conspiracy theory, because it's pedo stuff, because they don't want to be associated, because they're scared of they're scared on so many different levels, right? Like they're scared of Blake and Ryan. They're scared of like other people coming after them. They're scared of like doing something wrong and then like, being discredited as a journalist. Like there's so many levels to it. And this poor guy is like, I just want someone to help me break this story the correct way, to do it with some legal backing. Will he get someone to help him? I don't know. I thought of one person. That one person didn't want to do it. I do have somebody else in mind. I don't know if she'll do it, but a lot of people were saying Candace. Personally, I think Candace has the cojones to do it. Because whether you like her or not, okay, like that's not what we're talking about, but she has the balls to go after this if there is something here. I think she would, but I don't know if she can cover it, and she's so busy with so many other things. But and then some people were saying Megyn Kelly. I don't know. It's just such a hard place to be. I don't know if it'll ever really come out. I hope it does. I hope someone can help BeeBetter. Let's see. What else? You're the best, Big Bird source and other pop culture celeb meltdown stuff. Thank you, Jack Blackman. They're all scaredy cats. I'm coming a little behind, so JB's wife looks real nice and sweet, but Blake definitely fake nose. Yeah. Yes, you are right. Jamie Heath's wife is a doula, right? Like she works on postpartum stuff or is it just postpartum stuff and not a doula? I don't want to say it incorrectly, but she seems lovely. Mark Douglas, CEO of MNTN, was on an online interview this week and explained they have a software able to monitor all details of trending posts automatically. You can be sure RR uses it personally. Oh, 1000%. 1000% he uses it. Yeah. Just snooping. I like Candace. I never used to listen to her. I started listening to her because of this case, because she was covering Ryan and Blake, and I was like fascinated at like her investigative like skills, and like people send her things through her tips line, and like I've sent her stuff, and like she takes it into consideration and like goes and digs up stuff. It's just like the ultimate sleuth, And she, of course, she has a team. I'm sure, like somewhat of a team to help her, but like it's wild, the investigations that go on there. Let's see. She's not afraid to say what she wants and refuses to be bought. This is correct. And does she have the #1 podcast right now? There were a lot of people commenting with that on my videos yesterday. Like, oh, Candace should cover this. She has the #1 podcast. She goes after the truth and blah, blah. Is that true? Like, I didn't even know that. But like, if that's true, that's good for her. That's amazing. Good for you, Candace Owens. I can't understand why they'd be afraid. Investigative journalists were ended by the mob for exposing the mob back in the day. Candace is great. I really appreciate her authenticity. She seems pretty into CK at the moment. Yeah, she's very busy with Charlie Kirk stuff. She got a little strange for me. I like her before. Now, way too many conspiracy theories. Like literally everything is a conspiracy. I haven't been following too closely lately with everything. I did a little bit of the Charlie Kirk stuff in the beginning, but I just I don't have the time. I follow Shannon Hill. She's really amazing. She's awesome follow. And she does like little summary breakdowns every day, and I try to watch her stuff. She also covers other things too. She's really great. If you guys don't follow her on TikTok, or I think she's primarily on TikTok. She's wonderful. She's a sweetheart. Yes, #1 podcast last week for sure. Good for her. Isn't it funny how they went after white or light-skinned creators but don't touch the POC creators at all? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is interesting. Joe Rogan still has #1. Okay. I know Joe Rogan was #1. I don't know. I thought I heard. I like listening to Joe Rogan. He makes me laugh. Did you guys see the little clip of him like covering? I posted it. It's from a while back, where he's talking about Blake and Ryan. It's a really good clip. Like he's basically calling them out. Like I loved it. I loved that because he has such a big reach, and I was like, heck yeah, Joe Rogan, like say it, say the truth. He basically talks about like, they're going after a guy, like using the Me Too, like weaponizing Me Too, and he totally calls it out, and it was so good. I posted it. If you guys haven't seen it, it's on my page. Hello from San Bernardino County. Hello. Hello, neighbor. I am from LA County. All right. You guys have been awesome. Was there anything else I was going to cover today? I'm trying to remember. I feel like there's so much happened yesterday. Let's see. I wrote down some things. Let me see. Is there anything else you guys want to chat about before I go? I'm trying to see what else we covered. BeeBetter. We covered some of Jamie Heath's stuff. We talked about the photo with her feet on the guy who looks black, who isn't black, but could be black. Oh, this one was a good one I wanted to cover. The scene, the unscripted kiss scene in the hospital. Well, someone told me to look up this clip of Deadpool and Nicepool and how they're like talking. And then Deadpool says, he's holding what is it, the doggy pool, like the dog who's supposed to be representing Blake. And he says, "You let this little flirt out of your sight for 1 second, and she starts shopping for a new papa. Wonder what he meant by that." And then I put in a little picture of, the unscripted kiss between Blake and Justin. Was she shopping for a new papa there? Why was she doing that unscripted kiss? Why? And then there's like the whole toothpick scene, right? Let me know if you guys have any thoughts on that, because that was fun. Oh goodness, so much has been going on. Is there anything new on the docket today? I haven't even checked. Does anybody know? Oh, and then I've been covering Colleen Hoover lately a bunch. Oh, Colleen Hoover. She's a special one. Let's see. I'm gonna do one more round of chat stuff, and then we will say goodbye for the day. What do I think of Erica Kirk? Another time. Oh